Should Canada consider a lifetime ban on cigarette sales?
I don't think that is needed, especially with the licensing of marijuana products that are smoked. It'd be very hypocritical to then ban cigarettes. If that was the case, then I think they'd also have to look at banning smoking of marijuana products as well, and I don't think that would go favorably for the government.
I smoke cigarettes, so no, I like to smoke. Yeah, no. Freedom of choice. Let people decide for themselves.
I think that's not a bad idea. The more we can make sure that we have civil liberties, but at the same time extract some of the health problems, the externalities that exist there, and have the people that engage in those activities pay for them, that's a good idea.
No. That's nobody's business. If you want to smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigarette. That's nobody's business.
I'm not a smoker, but you know, obviously it's not good for your health. I'm out here about to go for a run, but you know, I think there is also some freedom that people need to be able to have some choices. If you know, if some people want to have drinks at night, I don't see that being wrong, as long as it's consumed safely. Same thing with the cigarette side. Again, I don't personally agree with it, but I think there's some, you know, you have to give some people some latitude.
No, because prohibition doesn't ever work. We've proven that many times now. They should just continue to do a sin tax on it. If you want to smoke, you're going to pay through the nose to do it, and you're going to be fed all the messages about the health concerns. And at the end of the day, if you still want to do it after all of that time, I guess have at it.
I mean, I think that it would make just as much or more sense to ban sugar. So if we're going to start policing people's consumption, food is probably more impactful than nicotine.
I think Canada should consider a lifetime ban on anything that is inhaled into the lungs, because any type of smoke, including cooking oil, doesn't belong. And we had to put up with forest fires here because of, I would say, somebody forgetting to put a fire guard on the other side of the mountain, and we're inhaling smoke. No, smoking, we know it's harmful. Yes, it goes towards a granny state, but or a nanny, but I'll call it a granny state. We've learned that putting any kind of smoke into your lungs is just not good for your health, so ban it.
I don't think Canada should put a lifetime ban on anything. I mean, ultimately, we're a free country. We can do what we want to do. If you choose to smoke, that's up to you. Now, that being said, you know, I think there are ramifications from that as well. There's increased costs for health care from that, but there's increased costs of health care from other aspects that, or from other places and doings that people are involved with. And, you know, I think in the end it all balances out. I don't think it's any worse for one than the other. That being said, smoking is probably not the best thing you could be doing for yourself. So.
The thing with things like drugs and cigarettes and all of that kind of stuff, as we saw with like marijuana sales, is that if you're regulating it, then you can make it safer for the public, because people tend to go, like I was just in university not too long ago, and if people are obtaining illegal drugs, they could be laced with something else, it's more dangerous. So people are going to get access to tobacco, they're going to have access to other forms of drug paraphernalia, and I feel like if the government's regulating it, then it's a little bit safer. And we've noticed a trend of young people not smoking as much. So I feel like if they're gonna ban it, then people are just gonna want to do it. It's not necessarily gonna stop the problem.
I wouldn't. No, I mean, I think that, you know, what we've seen in the last number of decades is we've got far fewer people smoking than we've ever had at any point in time. You know, ultimately, if people choose to smoke, then, you know, they have the right to do so. The information is right there. It takes up 3/4 of the pack. I mean, people know that it's bad for them. If they make that choice, then, you know, that's up to them. It would be like a lot of other things that, you know, in excess, alcohol, marijuana, other things are legal and people can legally purchase them. It's up to them to be responsible.
I think it's so ingrained into society and culture. I don't think a full-out ban is necessarily what's what. I think Canada has, especially living in England, has stricter rules against close to proximity to buildings, difficulty to get it, times that you can get it. Can there be tighter restrictions? Maybe, but also there's a lot of money in it.
No, I think that we should definitely regulate them, inform people of the risks. I think that we should provide everybody with the risk benefit, but I think ultimately that should be given to the, I think we should probably defund big tobacco. I think we should really look at like the whole environment surrounding that, but I think it's a harm reduction tool in its essence.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a clear answer on that one. I think substance use and chemical dependency is such a complicated thing that, I mean, capitalizing on it is always a touchy subject, but we all have our vices.